All right, Shalom, Yasharala. Giving infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. A salutation to my fellow laborers in the Marshak Yahweh Shah, puts his blood doctrine across the four winds in this 5 hours. Shalom. Okay, the prophet's job in this 5 hours is to tell the truth of the scriptures. All right, all of these current events and things that's going on in this 5 hour. All right, the Lord has raised up spiritual forecasters to come out here and prophesize to the peoples of the earth, whether they hear or forbear. And one of the main things we're out here doing, we're exposing who Babylon the Great is. All right, and who this evil, wicked nation of people are. All right. Okay, this is the book of Revelation. This is what we out here doing. All right, we out here exposing the bloody man. All right, the wicked of the earth. This red Hebrew Edomite. All right, this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. Okay, and it reads, oh no, I need the one that she sit on the scarlet colored beast. Hold up, bear with me. Bear with me. Might be 5. All right, I need a 5. Okay, so I'm going to start at verse 4. All right, this is Revelation 17 and 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple. This isn't a literal woman. All right, when you read the book of Revelation, there's a bunch of similitudes, metaphors, and allegories. All right, these things are not literal. All right, so this woman, the Lord likened America to a woman in purple. Purple represents royalty. All right, the scarlet is red. All right, so this is the color of this nation of people. They're red people. All right, red goes into Adama. All right, and Esau, Edom means red. All right, they're the red people of the earth. Okay, and the woman was arrayed in purple and a scarlet color. This woman is a nation. Okay, this is a wicked nation. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearl. America has become a rich city, a rich country off of slave labor, off the so-called Negroes, all right? Native Americans and Hispanics, okay? They became the greatest nation on the earth because they have sucked the nation of Israel dry, all right, through slavery, imperial colonization, so on and so forth. Having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations, where she established her government. All right, she pushed perverse, wicked laws and philosophies. All right, to govern the people. All right, and to darken the minds of the people. In the filthiness of her fornication, she say 2 men can marry, 2 women can marry. You could kill an unborn fetus. God loves everybody. You could do as thou wilt. You could worship whatever God you want. All right, that's that wine of her fornication. Okay. And upon her head was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon the Great is America. John the Revelator lived 2,000 years ago, all right? And he's seen this great so-called technologically advanced city in the ancient world. He's in the ancient world looking in these modern times, all right? He's seen men dressed as women. He's seen men getting their wires cut off and taking hormones and looking just like women. He's seen people with green hair, purple hair, all right? He's seen all of this madness that we're walking through right now. And John the Revelator is here right now if you can receive it. And the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. America is the abomination of the earth, okay? This is what all these democracy, it pushes wicked, foul, Western philosophies across the planet Earth. All right. And what does verse 6 say? And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. This bitch is a warmonger. All she does is slay the innocent. She kills people. She go in nations and oppress a man in his heritage. Okay. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. Right. And she's about to persecute us brothers that believe in Yahweh Shai. All right. She's a warmongering whore. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration because you got to realize this was a man that lived 2,000 years ago. Even though he was under the Romans and the Romans were corrupt, in Judea, they still was able to keep the law. They was able to still keep their customs. Now, they seen all these Greek Hellenized people, but when you look at ancient Rome and you look at modern day Rome, America, all right, even though ancient Rome was a piece of shit and degenerate, in these modern times, you looking at it, all right, Rome was full of homos, right? But Rome wasn't full of homos where they were having sex changes and you can't tell the difference between a man and a woman. All right, yeah, you had men in ancient Rome dressing up like women, putting makeup and shit on, but you knew that was a fucking man. But now, when you look in Rome revised in America through technology and their so-called science, pseudoscience, all right, where you give men hormones, you cut off their rods, they grow breasts, you know what I'm saying? They get the Adam's apple cut out, okay? And you look at some of these video vixens. I was just looking at a clip the other day, and on Biggie video, they say that the video where it say Biggie give me one more chance. One of those video vixens that was starting that video was a woman. And when you look at first glance, it was a man, Salakia. But when you look at first glance, it looked like a fucking woman. You got to look hard to tell that was a man. And then I'm gonna just keep it real. Some of these video vixens you can't fucking tell. Okay, that's what John was wowing in admiration. He's seen millions of abortions. All right, he's seen people walking around with gray hair. He's seen women dressed as men and men dressed as women. And he admired at this God-forsaken kingdom. He was like, "What the fuck?" All right. So you gotta go in these holy scrolls and let the people know who this wicked, perverse people is, all right? And that's who this guy, what I'm about to play, is talking about, all right? He's talking about Mr. Babylon. I'm about to play this dude, George Carlin, all right? I think they killed this guy. He always spoke against the government, all right? He was anti-American government, but he always said a lot of shit that was on point, and he's about to go into war as a big business. All right, and Americans are warmongers. So I'm going to let this clip play and funnel it through scriptures.
I'm here to exploit this war. War is good for business. Just take a look at the stock market. So I'm here to exploit it just like everybody else.
See, in America, war is good for business. America is only 200 some years old, but 70% of the time she's been in power, she's been at war. All right, this is a warmonger nation, and they profit off of death. All right, they get rich off of death, hurt, pain. All right, when they go in another country and they kill thousands of people, they rape that country of its natural resources. They put in a puppet in that country, and then they tax that country. Okay, they make good money when they go to war. All right, this is America.
In this country, best thing about this war, it's on every channel. And every channel has a slightly different war. Do you notice?
Yeah, you look at Fox News, they get one version of the war. You look at CNN, they get another version of the war. You know, I don't see Russia Today no more. But you look at Al Jazeera, all these different news people. It got the one in India. I like that one. I forgot the name of the one that be in India. They be raw. All right. You get different versions of the same war, you know? You get different versions of the same war. Because I remember one time I was looking at Fox and they was talking as if Ukraine was whooping Russia's ass. Ukraine has never whooped Russia's ass in that war. Russia's been beating the brakes off Ukraine since the war started. But Fox was pushing a narrative as if Ukraine was handing Russia an ass whooping. And it was a lie, okay? So he like you said, it depends on who you watching giving the news, man.
Sam, if you don't like the way it's going on Channel 2, try Channel 9. Maybe your side is winning over there. And the ratings are good. The ratings are good for the war. We like war. We're good at it. We're a warlike people. This country is only 200 years old, and we average a major war every 20 years.
Okay, now let's get that in the Bible. All right? What nation of people fit that description? Okay? There's a nation of people in the Bible that fit that description, man. All right? Let's get them. All right, this is the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter. Go to around 38 verse. I went down too far. All right. This Genesis 27 and 38. All right. You see, and when you're in modern day Christianity, all right, you have a table of nations, all right, of all the nations on the planet from the biblical perspective, who Yahweh Shema Shai deemed them. When you go in modern day Christianity, this is what they do. They try to tell you that these nations were just lost in time. No, all right. The so-called white man, through his culture hegemony, he pushes that thing in the earth that we don't know who the Moabites are. We don't know who the Ammonites are. We don't know who they were, lost in translation. But when it comes to the Israelites, we know we're those Israelites. And when it comes to the Hamites, you so-called black people, the Hamites, because they say Ham was cursed. And technically Ham was not cursed. Canaan was cursed. Okay, cursed be Canaan. Okay. So they know who those, they know who they're going to tell us black people, well, you're the biblical Hamites, though, because you people are dark skinned. See, it's all lies, okay? And this fucker here, Esau, he's the devil the Bible speak of. Whenever you read about the wicked, like in the book of Psalms, the wicked this, the wicked that, it's talking about the red Hebrew Edomites, all right? If you can receive it, they were the sons of Cain in the garden, okay? So this is, like Judge Carlin was saying, what nation of people that just can't get enough of war? All right, let's see what the Lord cursed them with. All right, it was supposed to be a blessing, but technically it's a curse. Okay, this is Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, barak me, even me also, O my father, O Abba. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. All right, pussy. That's what he do. When he get in bad case, they cry. They come beseeching as if they heard not. Man, we know these devils, man. Them tears don't move us. We know how you devils get down. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. All right. So it was going to be a time period that these devils was going to get in power and rule. All right. Fatness of the earth and dew of heaven means you have authority and you have the resources of the earth at your disposal. Okay. So we're living in that time right now. And by the sword thou shalt live. You see? But when they get in power, this nation, what they were going to do? Live by the sword. That means there was going to be a warmongering nation. And thou shalt serve thy brother. All right. After you're taken down, you're going to serve your brother. All right. And it shall come to pass when thou have the dominion. All right. Right now. That's why you got to know how to read the signs of the times. Okay. That's why you got to understand these tokens. We're living in a time where the so-called white man has the dominion. The red Hebrew Edomite is ruling the earth. All right. What did it say? Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the one that follows short after. Me roughly paraphrasing 2 Ezra 6th chapter, that thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. All right. So he's broke the yoke off our neck. Broke us our yoke we had on his neck during the Dark Ages. All right, and during the time of Solomon's son. I think it might have been Rehoboam or Rehoboam's son. One of them. You got the scripture where it say we Edomites came from under our rulership until this day. You know, I'm roughly paraphrasing. Okay, and now they have the dominion. They came back into power. Well, they came into power during the time of the Greeks. All right, I'm gonna get a precept to prove that. All right, so the so-called white people are the red Hebrew Edomites, and what did the Lord say? That they would live by the sword. All right, these modern day Americans, these Russians, these Brits, these people of the Netherlands. All right, all of these European nations, they're the red Hebrew Edomites, and what do? They love the war, especially America. Okay. And he's talking about America for the most part. Okay. Whoa. Got off the. What happened? Oh, this the wrong one. About to say. This ain't it. All right. Let me keep it playing. Let's go some more.
200 years old, 10 wars. Do the arithmetic yourself. We are a war-like people. We are perfect children of Europe. We're fort builders, land grabbers, and bomb throwers, folks.
Fort. What he said? Fort builders, land grabbers, and bomb throwers. Come on, let's get a scripture to bag this up. This is what they do. This is what they do. They steal, rob, kill, and steal. That's what they do, bro. This is what America does. She robs, she kills, and she steals. She grabs your fucking land, rob you, come to your land, rob you of it, and kill your motherfucking ass, man. This is what this bitch does, man. This is what this whore does. This is what that whore that sits on that scarlet colored beast, NATO to EU, and this is what they do. All right. This is Micah 2:1. One to the woe to them that devise iniquity. They find reason to start wars. That's what they do. They get order out of chaos. They start tumults, problem, action, solution. Okay. And they start wars. This is what they're doing right now. And work evil up on their deads. They do this in smoke-filled rooms behind the curtain. Okay. That's what the elites do. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in their power of their hand. What we just read in Genesis 27, because they have the dominion. The dominion is theirs for a short period of time. Okay. And they covet fields. What do you say? They covet fields. They land grabbers and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. They take them away. They shed innocent blood. They take you to, they find a reason to go to war with you and take your shit. Okay? So they oppress a man in his house and they kill a man in his house. They bind up the strong man and knock his ass off and then have his way with his women and his children. Even a man in his heritage. All right? This is talking about the red Hebrew Edomite, Mr. Babylon. All right? These Europeans. This is them. Okay? This is who this guy is talking about. And I wholeheartedly think George Carlin was a Jake. All right? My personal, humble opinion, I think he's a Jake. I think the other guy, the modern day version of him is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey been talking a lot of shit. It won't be long till they try to kill his ass. All right? He's been blowing whistles as of late. I think Jim Carrey is Jake too.
Folks, we're not happy. We're not happy unless we're dropping bombs on some helpless civilian population that has no argument with us whatsoever.
All right. When you look at Libya, Libya don't have no argument with us whatsoever. They go on. They went in Libya under the false pretenses with the same device that they use. We're not ignorant of their vices. Oh, Gaddafi, he's a tyrant. He's messing over his people. But when you talk to the Libyans, they say they loved Gaddafi and he took care of them. All right. But this is Western media. And they went in there under the false pretenses. And what did they do? Libya, they laid it waste. All right. They blew it up. Google Libya before Obama bombed it. Okay. It was a beautiful metropolis. Okay. This is what they do. They bomb little country. Libya compared to America is a small potatoes when they come to war. All right. They didn't have big guns. Now they were a well-to-do nation. They had gold, they have oil. All right. They were self-sufficient. Libya was a first world country. Okay. They was one of the richest countries in Africa. All right. Their currency was backed by gold. That's why they went in, because he wanted to deal things with a gold standard. Okay. And he wanted to stop dealing with these corporate bankers. All right. These Rothschild banks. That's why they went into Libya and killed that man. All right. This is what they do. The red Hebrew Edomite.
No argument with us whatsoever. We are bomb throwers. And when we're not dropping high explosives, on some small nation that only has a marginally effective air force.
All right, Libya is a small nation. Iraq, small nations. Okay, Syria, small nations. Yemen, small little dragons of Arabia, Arabic nations, man. This is what America does. They live by the sword. They take people's lands, all right, and oppress them. All right. They say, we're going to civilize you people. We're going to give you democracy. And we're going to put a puppet. It's like what they did in ancient Rome. Nothing new under the sun. Come in your land, come in Judea, and then Hellenize it, and then leave a Roman governor there. Leave Pontius Pilate in that motherfucker. All right. And make it a state for Westerners to come in. Then the next thing you know, they building resorts and shit on your country and defiling your land, defiling your women, defiling your children. Now the next thing you know, they're building schools, and you gotta learn their education. You gotta learn how to be a Westerner. This is what they do, but it all starts with war. All right, this warmongering nation. All right. In fact, this is and America's been doing this since her youth. since she's been a nation. All right. Living by the sword. All right. Now, before America's sword is actually not her most lethal weapon, in my opinion. It's her deceit. All right. When you go into the garden, he deceived Eve. He didn't go in there with his sword. All right. He deceived. This is one deceitful, fork tongue, slick talking, word smooth as butter ass nigga. All right, this is Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. You know what? I'm going to get this in the ESV because it's kind of, I like the way it sounds. I'm going to get that one in the, no, I want it in Bible Hub. Like you. Bible Hub. Should have already had it pulled up. I like Bible Hub. I fucks with Bible Hub. All right. I like when you get on Bible Hub, you can look at the different so-called scholars. A lot of times they be on point. Like if you go to the dictionaries and the way they explain things, they be on point. When you learn how to twerk it. All right. What happened? Oh, I didn't even put it up here. Salakia. All right. Isaiah. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm putting a semicolon. I'm putting the wrong thing there. That's what's going on. Okay. Should work now. All right. All right. This is Isaiah 47 and 12. And I'm going to read it in the NIV. All right. Keep on then with your magic spells. You see? And with your many sorceries. All right. Now, this magic spell that Babylon does, this is their greatest sword, in my opinion. The mind manipulation. Because in its truth, this is a war for our minds. A spiritual warfare is a mental warfare. All right. So when it says your magic spells, when you go to America's educational industrial complex, that's a sword. All right. Because you're getting fucked mentally. Okay. They're destroying you mentally. And that's a spell. When they send you to pre-K all the way up to the 12th grade. Okay. That's about 17. Well, you know, yeah, you in school 12 fucking years, man. Okay. In 12 years in any fashion, you're a fucking veteran. All right. They're mind fucking you. All right. 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Okay. And that's a part of a sword with their many sorceries, which you have labored since childhood. Since America's been a country, they've been laboring with war, mental warfare. All right, literal warfare, chemical warfare. They do it all, man. Okay? Perhaps you would succeed. Perhaps you would cause terror. All right? And that's the Lord being sarcastic with this devil. But this devil, since her youth, all she been doing is warmongering, going throughout the planet Earth, robbing, killing, stealing, putting her flag in the ground, all right, and destroying people in the name of freedom, in the name of liberty. All right? When she's not bringing freedom or liberty to anybody, she's making everybody on the planet life hell. All right. What does it say? We have to destroy them to destroy the earth in Revelation 11 chapter. That's what they do. They're destroying the earth since they've been in power. These are the people this guy is talking about, man.
Then we're declaring war on something at home. We love to declare war on something at home, don't we? Anything we don't like about ourselves, we have to declare war on it. We can't get rid of this war mentality from our public life. We got a war on poverty, war on crime, war on cancer, war on litter, war on drugs. Did you ever notice we don't have a war on homelessness? No war on homelessness. You know why? You know why? I'll tell you why, because there's no money in it.
You see? You see? This devil, hey, what's the root of all evil? The love of money. All right, this man is a carnal man. He's a fleshly man. All right, he lives by the sword, and he's never had enough. Let me get that. Okay, he never has enough. What is that? Habakkuk. All right, this is Habakkuk. I heard some people say Habakkuk before. I don't think that's the proper way to pronounce it. All right. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yeah, also, because he transgressing by wine. See, they go that American educational industrial complex. That is it's encyclopedias, it's almanacs. All right, it's philosophies, it's psychology courses you go when you go to class, go to college, Salakia. That's the greatest sword America has to me. The mind fuckery, the media outlets, the movies. All right, that's what poison you. Me growing up looking at MTV and BET, it fucked me. I used to look at that shit and want to emulate it. Like to me, now that I'm a grown man, why the fuck was I wearing Chuck Taylors? I goddamn daddies and uncles in the fucking 60s was wearing Chuck Taylors. I don't know why I was wearing Chuck Taylors in a fucking Dickie suit, man. Dickie suit is work clothes. You know, that's not, good rags, fire rags. Like you get some nice silks and some nice, slacks and some nice shiny shoes, those are work clothes. The people, the hood niggas, Jake make anything look good. They didn't have money in the hood, so they went and got cheap clothes and they made it look good. All right. Them hood niggas in Cali about the trucks, they were cheap. They were like $20-some. The Dickie suits was like $20-some. All right, but they made it look good. That's what Jake do. But that wasn't no designer or nothing like polos. And down here during them times we wore polos and Guess jeans, you know what I'm saying? With Jordans. Those was clothes that people bought because they didn't have money. All right. But looking at Snoop Dogg videos, the Dog Pound, that's the era I grew up in. Eazy-E, Compton G's, all that shit, the Bloods and the Crips. We used to look at that shit and we was mesmerized by that shit. Spice One. Yeah, I grew up under that West Coast vibration, like when I was in middle school. Okay, those were the first gangster rappers I saw. And I used to want to do that shit. See, that was part of Esau's sword. All them niggas was doing was getting high, killing each other. That wasn't nothing to want to emulate and be a part of, but that's a part of that sword. That was a part of the war, all right, on our people. It was a war on our minds, all right? And it reads, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. What does he do when he goes abroad? He goes to war. Anytime he goes abroad, he's over there in somebody's business, starting proxy wars. All right, if he's not fighting literally, he's financing one side of the war to go do one side of the war to go do some fuck shit that he's gonna benefit from during the war when the war comes to an end. All right, he's doing it for money. He ain't doing it for nothing. Like when that nigga came from Ukraine and asked Donald Trump for aid, what did Donald Trump say? If we give you the aid, you got to give us a great percentage of your mineral rights in Ukraine. You see, he do nothing for nothing. It's all about a dollar, baby. All right? Who enlarges his desire is hell. You see, he never has enough. He has all the fatness of the earth. He has all the dew of heaven right now, and it's still not enough. All right? It's still not enough. All right? This devil got about 90% of the earth's wealth, and it's still not enough. And it's his death. All right? That's why the Lord said we got to destroy him to destroy the earth and cannot be satisfied, even though he has everything. He's in heaven right now. He has slaves. He has human commodity. Anything you spend, any dollar you make in America, you got to give him a percentage. You got to pay draft. He gonna tax you. That nigga find out you cutting hair in your house, all right? And you got a lot of people coming to your house getting their hair cut. He find out, man, that nigga coming and charge you with something. He got to get a piece of that action, man. If a woman doing hair in her house, all right, and she making good money and he get a whiff of it, he's coming to that woman's house, all right, writing her a ticket and telling her, look, you got to get certified in this and I got to get a piece of that action. Okay? This is what this motherfucker does, man. He can't never have enough. He got to have a piece of everything. And is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. But he gathered to him all nations and he put him to him all people. All right? And he sucks them dry. While I'm here, let me skip down to verse 12. Okay? And it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. All right? Woe to him that build a town with war. Build a town with war for nothing. All right? Because you covenant another man's land. You covenant another man's property. So you find a reason to go to war with them and kill those people and establish a city by iniquity. America was built by blood and established by iniquity. Okay? These are these warmongering people, man. Okay? How did the Brits get the Bahamas? Okay? How did America get that? That's the Brits. I'm almost positive the Bahamas is a Brit territory. I think Jamaica might be a Brit territory because they drive with the cars on the left side. I've been to both of them. All right. And I think the Virgin Islands is American territory. Hawaii is America. How did they get that? They went and conquered that shit and took that shit, man. Okay? This is what they do. They just go take shit. Like dude said on the movie House Party. We be housing shit. Okay? These are warmongers. They be housing shit.
There's no money in that problem. Nobody stands to get rich off of that problem. You find a solution to homelessness where the businessmen and the politicians can steal a couple of $1 million each, you'll see the streets of America begin to clear up pretty fast. I'll give you a couple ideas. I'm here to exploit this war.
See, I need to find that whole little clip. But that's it on that. All right? And when he said he was exploring the world, he either was talking, because I think the nigga been dead at least 10 years. So he might have been talking about during that time the Gulf War because he looked kind of young on that one. All right? Come on, let's keep exposing this devil. This was what the prophets have set up to do. Because, like, all right, when you deal with the scriptures, all right, Christians always talk about the devil, but they don't know who the devil is. All right? They don't know who the devil is. All right? The devil is a nation of people. All right? The wicked of the Bible is not just the spiritual demons, Satan, and the demons that are under his authority. All right? It has a nation that this devil, that the spiritual demon Satan physically inhabits. All right? To do his bidding across the earth. All right? This is now people don't know that. They drunk off of this devil's version, his version of the Bible. All right, this is Psalms, which is lies, doctrines of devils. Okay, this is Psalms 94, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 3. All right, let's get it. All right, Psalms 94 and 3. Yahweh, how long shall the wicked? See, when you read these books of Psalms, it's talking about the wicked. It's talking about the red Hebrew Edomites, okay? That's the wicked, okay? That's the wicked from the beginning. All right, these are the same people. How long shall the wicked triumph, okay? His brother was prophesying about these end times, okay? How long shall they utterly speak hard things? What are hard things? Things that are contrary to the law, things that are contrary to righteousness. All right, the laws that govern these places is hard thing. It's a hard thing for a woman to be able to take a man's child and then rob him of his resources. All right, and then she has full authority of their child, and that man don't have authority of their child, and the system tells him he got to get his child every other weekend. You see, that's what the courts did me. Okay, that's a hard thing, man. That's something that makes a righteous man want to sigh and cry. That's why the psalmist is asking the Lord, how long shall they utter and speak hard things? They're not just speaking them, they doing them. This is hell. Take a man child, and then if you got a son, this bitch want to put him in ballet. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna go to the ballet building and take your son? No, you go take your son. All right, a bunch of cops gonna meet you somewhere, charge you with kidnapping, and then throw you in a dungeon. That's why he's saying, how long, Lord? How long shall the wicked triumph? How long are they gonna be able to do these things? All the workers of iniquity boast themselves, and they boast about it. Okay. They have no shame in doing these things. They break in pieces thy people, all right, through the educational system, O Yahweh, and afflict thine heritage, all right, the nation of Israel. Our people afflicted, people robbed and spoiled, all right. He's turned our people, our nation of people, into a bunch of reprobates. I don't know if they're going or coming. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe me, just talk to a random Jake. It don't take much. When you get these spiritual binoculars on, and you know the way things should be, all right, just talk to your average Jake, and you'll see how far from reality and how alienated from your high by Shema Shah they are. Our people are afflicted. They fucked up. Isaiah the first chapter say the whole head is sick. All right, our people are perverse, but it's because of this war. All right, this warmongering piece of shit. They slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless. See, this devil's a warmongering murderer, and he don't have no mercy. He slays the widow. He'll kill the widow after he binds the strong man and kill him. All right, the stranger. Our law says take care of the stranger. Okay. And he'll murder the fathers, have no mercy on the child. And that's what he's done. That's what he's doing when you look in every hood near you. All right. The woman that doesn't have a husband, what's going on with the so-called black woman? All right. She's dead while she's living. All right. What's going on with the fatherless child that she's raising? He's going to end up in Sodomitville jail, or he's going to end up in the early grave. All right. And that's because of this system. This murderous system this devil has forced on our people, okay? Yet they say Yahweh shall not see. This is how he think in his heart. Neither shall the power of Yahweh regard it. You see? He think he's going to go on doing these things forever, all right? He don't understand the Lord has put him in slippery places. He about to fall, okay? His warmongering days are coming to an end because those that are weak are saying they are strong now. The people he's been bullying, the nation he's been bullying, all right, according to prophecy, they saying, fuck you. These weak nations, these Arab nations and just nations, the so-called white man's been spoiling. They taking their plowshares and their prawn hooks and trading them in for uranium and plutonium, all right? And trading them in for weapons of war. They spending all of their economy's resources on building up the militaries, all right? To do what? Fight this devil back, okay? This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 21. There's a 4-time written. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. Now, this one, the so-called white man came into power. And he started wreaking havoc on the planet Earth. This is what you got to read up on Greek Hellenization. Right, he started Hellenizing the whole earth, pushing that Western philosophy and polluting the minds of the inhabitants of the earth. Okay, you also read about that in Revelation 13. Okay, where that's Revelation 13. Yeah, that's Revelation 13. Matter of fact, let me be positive. That's the beginning of the Edomite power structure. When the Greeks came into power, pull it up on my phone. All right, Revelation 13. Yep, Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. That leopard represents the Greeks. All right, Alexander the Greek, historically, when you read up on this nigga, he used to wear a leopard He had a literal leopard head, and he wore it. When he go to war, he'll put that leopard head on his head and go to war. Okay, he'll have on leopard paraphernalia. Okay, and the rough goat is the king of Greece. The great horn that is between the eyes is the first king. Okay, so this is talking about Alexander the Freak. All right, who the so-called white man calls Alexander the Great, who is a flaming fag, a flaming homosexual. Okay. Now that being broken, this is the first thing they did when they came into power. Let's see what Alexander the Greek did. Now that being broken, whereas, all right, then when he died, whereas four stood up forward, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And those four kingdoms is his four generals, Cassandra, Licinius. Oh, I gotta know this. I'm supposed to know this. Cassandra, Licinius, Ptolemy, and Seleucus. All right, those are his four generals. Okay, that's what that's talking about because they split his kingdom after he died. His four confidants, his compadres that he grew up with, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressions have come to the full, all right, when they've Hellenized the earth and freaked everybody out. All right, that's happening again during this time. A king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sinners shall rise up. And this time about epiphanies. He came out of the line of the solutions. Okay, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully. See, this is what this devil does. See, it goes back to the topic. When the Greeks came into power, what do they do? Destroy wonderfully. This is what they do. They're warmongers. What does Genesis 27 say? That's their blessing. Living by the sword, killing, stealing. All right. That's why the Lord said we got to destroy him that destroys the earth. And he shall prosper. And he prospers. This is what this devil prosper in. Wherever he go, death and hell follows. And practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. But he's not going to destroy us utterly. All right. Thank you, Habba Shema Shai, for putting a cluster of grapes to the side, talking about his elect. Okay. But this goes to show when the Greeks came into power, all right, there was a king of fierce countenance. And what did they do? All they did was go to war. Alexander the Great, I think the nigga died at 25. The nigga died real young of a gay disease, a homosexual disease, all right, from popping men. Man, they say history tells that when the Greeks used to beat the people they was fighting on the battlefield, while the men were dying on the ground, the Greek soldiers would grape them. Yeah. This is a degenerate nation. This is the basis of all men. Okay? These are the people that's ruling over us right now. Warmongering pieces of shit. Okay? This is and then these Americans, all right, they're docile right now, but the Lord is about to put a spirit on them when they're gonna get back in that chateau slavery spirit. Okay? They're gonna show their true colors in these coming days. This is what the end looks like. All right, these Americans that you think are cool, that are your friends, that you work with, all right, they about to start showing their horns. All right, in the coming days. All right, for the Bible tells us so. They're about to get back into that spirit. Okay. This is Proverbs 1:15. My son, walk not in the way with them. That's why the Lord told us, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. All right. And he told another fashion of our people, you of your father devil and the lust of your father you would do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Okay. And 2/3 of our people are walking in his stead. All right. Refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. This is all this devil does. Sheds blood, all right? And then justify it after he does it. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. You know, they've been trapping men. They catch men, all right? But it's going to bring them to their ultimate demise. They're going to be trapped, okay? What they've done to others is going to be done to them. And they lie in wait for their own blood. They lurk probably for their own lives. You see, they don't know that though. Okay, what you reap, you shall sow. Okay, As you do to others, it's going to be done to you. That's a universal law. Putting the earth by Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. All right? This devil is never satisfied. That's why he's always at war, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. All right? This is a bloody man. All right? This is talking about the red Hebrew Edomite. This is talking about these Americans that we're around. All right? This is the spirit that endows these people. Okay? This is the spirit that the Lord placed on these people from the beginning. Okay? And this is their judgment. I'm going to leave off on this one. Okay? This is 2 Samuel. I bought it out the other day. That motherfucker Agag. All right. That ain't it. It's 1 Samuel. All right. This is 1 Samuel 15. I'm going to go straight to the point. All right. All right. This is 1 Samuel 15 and 32. Then said Samuel, bring here to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites, the king of the Edomites. Okay. Amalekites is the chief tribe of Edom. Okay. That's these so-called Jewish bankers. All right. These corporate bankers. All right. These identity thieves. These people are not the son, these Israelis. All right. They are not the people of the book. They are identity thieves. All right. And Agag, that's like a title like Czar or Caesar amongst Edomites, all right? The Khazars, their title is a Kanagan. A Kanagan was like the ruling class or a king amongst the Khazars. All these people are the same people. And Agag came unto him delicately, you see, as if he heard not, crouching. You know, that shit not going to work with us, elect brothers, hopeful elect brothers, okay? And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. See, this is the spirit of an Edomite. He do all that pillaging, all of that killing, but then he wants somebody to show him mercy. This is the spirit of a so-called white man. He will rape, pillage, purge, show no mercy. But then when he's on the judgment seat, when he's being judged, he wants somebody to show mercy to him. It don't work like that, white boy, red boy. And Samuel said, as thy sword had made women childless, all right, as you've been a warmonger, killing men throughout the planet Earth for hundreds of years, so shall thy mother be childless amongst women, all right? Yeah, which was done to you. That's why I say, sit at the dust, O Babylon. You'll no longer be called tender and delicate. All right. And one day you're going to learn the loss of children. Okay. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal. All right. That's the type of time we on. We waiting for our Lord to rise up to the prey and take these motherfuckers down, man. Okay. All right. Yeah. The water, brother. Yabashima Shabrakatah. Yeah. The elites say it takes 10 years to fully indoctrinate a nation of people. All right. And this devil has had much more than 10 years to indoctrinate a nation, man, because our people are gone. They are totally indoctrinated. Okay. That's why, hell, we were indoctrinated before the Lord woke us up and had mercy on us. That's why this war is a spiritual war. You see, that's why we're not out here trying to bear arms. All right. We're not out here talking about stockpiling resources. All right, this is the war we're fighting, and that's good information. Yeah, see, that's what this devil set up. That's his strongest attribute, fucking you mentally. Him throwing you in the jail, because you could be in jail and still be in your right mind. You can have yokes of iron on your neck and neck and hands and feet and still be in your right mind. You could be getting bull whipped and still be in your right mind. But once this devil educates you and indoctrinates you, all right, you fuck. Okay? This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You see, we're not fighting his war. We don't need Apache helicopters. We don't need F-16 fighter jets, F-20 fighter jets. We don't need a nuclear arsenal. That's not our war. That's not what we're doing in this grace period. But mighty through Yahweh to pulling down the strongholds. These strongholds is his lies he's taught us in these schools, in his religious facilities. All right? That's what our war is. Like the brother say, take 10 years to indoctrinate. We are breaking that stronghold. That's that indoctrination that happened to us here in America. We are breaking, those are called, when you indoctrinated, you have strongholds on your mind. A stronghold represents you being indoctrinated. So that, and it's a curse to think like a so-called white man. So it has to be broke. We have to pull down those strongholds. Casting down imaginations. Where do you imagine things? In your mind. All right. These imaginations is this Western philosophy. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to graduate from college. All right. I'm going to get a 401k. I'm going to send my kids to college. All right. And when I retired 65, I'm going to do a bucket list and go travel the earth. That's bullshit. That's a westernized imagination. The white picket fence, the 4-car garage, all that bullshit. We casting that shit down. We don't give a fuck about that shit, man. We want the kingdom of heaven to be ushered in. We want new bodies, man. We want slaves. That Western mindset, we don't want it. That shit is cast down. And every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh. Okay? We don't want our daughters to marry a nigga in this society, man. All right? We don't want our sons to be marrying these Babylonian women, man. We want to get the fuck out where the law of Moses governs the planet Earth, and we pick our sons' wives. All right? Us brothers. I give my son to my brother son. I give my daughter to my brother's son. All right? I give my son to one of his daughters. All right? We want to do things the way we do things. We want our laws to govern us. All right? And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach. All right? We want to do things the way Yahweh Shem Shai created us to do. All right? And that's the war we fight. The so-called white man, all right, when he can't break you mentally, he's going to kill you. So that's why he's going to come kill us. He's going to try his hardest to get us out of here. When he see he can't break you mentally, like the so-called white man has a number of people, all right, like he look at us doing these sit-downs, you know, and he could look in our everyday lives through his technology. All right. He has us locked in. He know our weaknesses. All right. Because he studied us. He's Ezekiel 28 chapter say he's sought out all things. So through his technology, when we doing these sit downs, you got a fucking camera looking back at you. When you're on your phone, all right, he could tap your phone calls, your TV looking at you. So he know who real and who fake amongst us. He know the ones, some of us brothers, he just gonna want to come kill. He ain't gonna try to redirect us or try to bring us into a indoctrination form to re-educate us. No, he just gonna kill him. You know? I think you got the blue list and the red list. All right. When he see he can't break you mentally, he's just gonna come kill you. And so be it. That'll be an honorable death. That'll be an honorable death. Okay. So with that, Abba Ratazah, this was edifying to the hearers. I'm going to give infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Harakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and our bishops, a great millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in the Mashak Yahushua. Kwam Yasharala, Baba Baal, Shalom.